All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Halloween Eve. And as a mother of toddlers, it is just a very exciting time of the year. And I decided I would dress for you for Halloween, not only because it's an exciting day, but also because today I am going to relate trick-or-treating to some things that you need to know about marketing to be even more successful with your efforts. So today we're going to have kind of a fun video blog post that I hope you enjoy. I also want to warn you, I've already warned you on this blog that there may occasionally be some toddler voices in the background because I work from home, and so I have a babysitter watching the toddlers outside my office, but we also are getting some work done in our house. So you may hear even more construction noises, and we'll just write it off to Halloween chaos. All right, so I wanted to jump in today talking about how trick-or-treating all started. And the first evidence of trick-or-treating was really in the Middle Ages in Europe, and it dated back to a Celtic tradition, actually at the end of the year, where people made offerings to spirits and dressed up. And then the holiday moved to the night before All Saints' Day, and trick-or-treating was also a type of offering and something actually the poor did to get food. And that was back, as I said, in Europe in the Middle Ages. And this really didn't carry over to the US. So in the US, and this is all me educating myself on various historical websites like Smithsonian Magazine. So I encourage you to do your own research. But in the US, trick-or-treating came about in the 1920s. And the first written record of trick-or-treating was that it was an excuse to have some great unbridled fun. And so then trick-or-treating kind of here and there, we would hear about it in historical records. And then there was a break between 1942 and 47 for sugar rations during World War II. And then it became a thing again after that. And it became more and more widespread after the sugar rations ended. And then we started reading about it all over, and it was officially a tradition. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Well, trick-or-treating relates heavily to push and pull marketing and brand ascension. And this last month in October, I talked to you all about having content that would engage your customers and ideal potential customers and really speak to them directly. And so this next coming month, November, I'm going to talk to you about how to optimize that content. Each week I'm going to talk about a different part of how to optimize the content that you're working so hard on so that your potential customers and ideal customers see it. So I want you to have great content, and I want it to be seen, and so we're going to kind of build. And so today I'm going to kind of give you an overview of how we move from the content phase to the brand phase and have more and more eyes on our content so that we can become a brand, kind of like trick-or-treating eventually became a brand. But as you can see, there was a whole evolution to that, and it didn't start really catching on after World War II. So let's get started with talking a little bit about push and pull marketing to understand this concept. So if you've ever studied marketing theory before, you've heard that there's two types of marketing, push and pull marketing, that can kind of get people engaged with your brand. And push marketing, I like to say, push marketing, the definition really is bringing your product to your customer. And I like to put an example on that by saying, by having you picture going to Macy's and the perfume counter. So when I was little, I loved to go to Macy's with my mom and get all the little perfume samples sprayed on me, or get the little cards. And that's a perfect example of push marketing. So you're bringing a product to the customer. In other words, you're finding the customer where they're at and showing them your product. So we do this a lot these days on social media. We try and put our content in front of the right people at the right time on social media, either organically or toward advertising. Now, pull marketing is when someone is so familiar with your brand that they seek you out and they go searching for you. And so a great example of this, speaking of being a mother of toddlers, is when a child sees a commercial on TV, gets to know a brand, and then comes and tells you they want that toy. And so that's successful pull marketing. You've gotten in front of someone that could know and memorize your brand, and then they know exactly what they want, and they want their parent to go seek out that product. So we always in business want to try to move, especially with online marketing, from push marketing to pull marketing. And to do that, we have to take different activities that move us up this thing I made up called the Brand Ascension Pyramid. And I did it in Halloween colors just for today's broadcast. So I want to hold it up here so that you can see it on the camera. Art was never totally my thing. I think my triangle looks more like a witch's hat, but that's okay. It's all the Halloween theme. But Brand Ascension Pyramid. So we become a brand right here at the top, but it's through a series of several activities that gets us there. So first, at the bottom of the pyramid, we're building our content, and we're creating buzz right here. So at the bottom of the pyramid, we're just really getting started, and we have some buzz generating. You're telling your friends, you're working really hard, but we're not really near being a brand yet. Then when we go to the next step, we're trying to bolster our content. So a lot of what we do here are things like referrals and different incentives to get the word spread to people outside of this initial inner circle where the buzz happens. Then we want to broaden our message even more. And a lot of times we do this through remarketing and reminders. And this is kind of where we start going from, okay, we're getting the word out here, we're taking it to more people here, we're broadening it here. This is kind of where the switch from push to pull marketing happens, because we are starting to then go back to people and remind them of us. We're starting to nurture them over email, retarget people. That's when we start saying, okay, we're reminding people of who we are, they're remembering us, and they're starting to come seek us out as a brand. Now, this is a process that happens over time with many different steps on each level. And in the course that I teach and coach, we go through and we kind of follow this ascension, right, to becoming that business that people want to come back to over and over and automatically know about. And we do a lot of different activities within each step of this Brand Ascension Pyramid that gets us there. Today, I'm simply talking about making the switch and going from push to pull marketing and laying out how we get there, so you kind of have a vision for how that all works. But the first step is you have to find your customer where they're at online when it comes to digital marketing. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in this next month of November. How do we learn the right time and the right place to get in front of the right customer to showcase our brand? And so I thought that today a little fun trick-or-treating history married to this concept of brand ascension would help you visualize how we're going to get there. Because as I mentioned, as far as trick-or-treating goes, you kind of start out as this tradition, starting with some people that just, at least in the US, want to have some fun. And then you slowly climb up to the point where it becomes a thing or a brand, and people do it and seek it out and know that it's happening. All right, so that's a little overview of where we're going to go next on this blog. And before I go, I just wanted to show you something that's a little off topic with marketing, but I'll come back tomorrow and tell you what happened. So this costume right here, take a look at that. How cute is this costume? So this is my 2-year-old son's Halloween costume, because my 4-year-old daughter wanted to be Violet from The Incredibles. And of course, being the great, or the forward-thinking, I should say, toddler mom that I am, I had to get matching costumes. But turns out my son is afraid of it. I don't know if it's the little muscles or what, but he will not put it on. So that'll be a little cliffhanger to see if we could actually get from point A to point B tomorrow. See if you actually put on that costume. So maybe they're going to be the Incredibles brand together, maybe just one of them. Who knows? It's a cliffhanger. Anyway, I want you, as you go and think about what we talked about today, to think about this pyramid and to think about how we change, how we make a switch here from push to pull marketing. And really think about how this kind of works in different companies that you know. So as we continue to talk about it in the weeks to come, and I continue to kind of take you up this pyramid each month with a different type of content that I'm going to hone in on that follows that progression, that you're really kind of understanding where we're going. So again, last month we were really at that building buzz kind of phase, creating content, how to get that content really engaging. And now we're going to move into how to bolster it, get it in front of the right people, and widen that audience a little bit. That'll be November. I'm really excited, and I will see you again here soon. All right, happy Halloween.